After watching a video of a foreign billionaire's son's wedding, my sister-in-law, Nia, loudly declared she wanted to go abroad to become nobility. A scammer, posing as an investment immigration agent, approached her, claiming she could go for just 1 million yuan. The day before she was to leave, I locked her in the house, saving her from a terrible fate. But she turned around, gave the money to the scammer, and had them kidnap me to a foreign country, instructing them to make me the lowest of female slaves. There, I was sold to a family of 8 men, tortured until I was a shadow of my former self, and died in humiliation. When I opened my eyes again, I saw my sister-in-law showing off her newly learned belly dance. If you go abroad, you'll surely enchant a whole bunch of noblemen and rise to the pinnacle of life. I smirked inwardly. Yes, go on and suffer. Sister-in-law, look, isn't this belly dance beautiful? If I dance like this, will I captivate a whole group of foreign noblemen? Nia, my sister-in-law, wore a flashy sari bought online, revealing a belly full of flab as she awkwardly swayed to the music. For a moment, I was stunned. Just a second ago, I was clearly still abroad, being brutally beaten by 8 insane men. The humiliation of being unable to resist and the physical pain felt as fresh as if it had just happened. Sister-in-law, why are you spaced out? Is it because I'm so beautiful you're dazzled? Nia swayed a few more times in front of me. Only then did I realize I had been reborn. In my previous life, it was also at this very moment that Nia watched a short video on an app about the luxurious wedding of an Indian billionaire's son. The jewelry laden on the bride drove her crazy. Why is that girl so ugly yet she gets to marry the son of a world billionaire? Is it just because she belongs to the foreign Brahmin nobility? I won't accept this. I want to go abroad too. With my looks, fair skin, beauty, and long legs, I'm sure to charm a whole host of Brahmin noblemen. Yes, I must go abroad immediately. She meant what she said and immediately went online to find a way to go. Very quickly, a scammer calling himself an immigration agent found her. Going abroad is very simple. Just invest 1 million yuan and you're good to go. Nia hesitated slightly. She didn't have that much money, but the scammer continued to entice her. Beautiful lady, 1 million yuan to go abroad is no loss. Think about it, once you're there, you'll become the highest class Brahmin, making a leap in social status. Do you know what kind of existence Brahmins are abroad? He began to educate Nia on the benefits of becoming a Brahmin in India. Brahmins abroad have supreme power, with the military protecting them when they go out. The state provides a villa directly, you don't need to spend any money to buy it. No matter what mistake you commit, as long as you show your Brahmin identity, no one will hold you accountable. Most importantly, abroad, you will be like a divine being. People from other castes will unconditionally bow and kneel to you. Nia's eyes lit up, full of anticipation. You don't need to say much, just tell me if I go there, can you guarantee I'll marry a rich man from the Brahmin caste? Like a billionaire's son, for example. The scammer almost couldn't contain his laughter, but he professionally continued his deception. Absolutely. Once you're there, you are a Brahmin. Marrying a Brahmin is a sure thing. All Brahmins are wealthy people. Even if not world billionaires, they are Indian billionaires. In short, you won't lose out. Nia listened, her heart blooming. That night, she came to borrow money from me. I exhausted myself trying to dissuade her from believing such obvious scams, telling her that news of women being raped in India was rampant and that they didn't respect women at all. Nia's face darkened. You're just jealous because I'm about to live a high-class life. I'll ask you one question. Are you lending me the money or not? I, of course, wouldn't lend it to her. She then turned around and stole all of my mother-in-law's pension money. The day before she was to leave, I locked her in the house. Sister-in-law, trust me. If you go, your whole life will be ruined. Unable to get out, she became furious, turning around and giving the scammer 100,000 yuan, telling them to kidnap me to India and sell me to a family of 8 brothers. There, I suffered inhumane abuse. Being of a lower caste, they had no jobs, the whole family lived by picking up trash, so poor they ate only 1 meal a day and could not marry. Therefore, I became their sole tool for venting anger. I was beaten, imprisoned, humiliated, became pregnant again and again, and miscarried again and again. Until the last moment of my life, I was beaten to death with 8 wooden sticks. My thoughts snapped back to the present. Seeing Nia admiring her beauty in the mirror, I quickly forced a smile. Oh, Nia, stop talking. You really suit that outfit, it's so beautiful. If you truly go abroad, you'll definitely captivate a whole bunch of people. Hearing my praise, she was overjoyed and began to wiggle her barrel-like waist again. Her belly fat rippled in layers, probably weighing at least 10 kilograms. I'm sick of this wretched place. It's getting more and more boring with hardly any rich people. Sister-in-law, look at that foreign billionaire's son's wedding. How grand the scene was. I nodded enthusiastically. You're right. With your beauty and figure, going abroad is a direct leap in social class. She became even more excited, quickly going online to find a way to go abroad. Less than 10 minutes later, I heard her phone ring. Excellent. The scammer has arrived. Of course, it was the same old lines as in my previous life. I sat nearby, listening to every single word. Nia grew more and more excited, more and more agitated. After hanging up, she hugged me and shook me vigorously. Sister-in-law, did you hear? He said if I go there, I can marry into wealth, at least an Indian billionaire. Oh my God, sister-in-law, look at those wealthy foreign women laden with jewelry. I knew I had to keep encouraging her. That's right, go abroad, go soon. Over there, don't expect to use chopsticks. For eating anything, you'll use your hands. After going to the bathroom, don't expect paper to wipe yourself, just use your hand or find a stick. And the toilets are often open air. Sometimes you sit down and there are several men standing nearby watching. You won't bathe twice a year, your body will be covered in scabs, and you'll have to engage with other men also covered in scabs. I couldn't think any further, it was too disgusting, too filthy, and too humiliating. But Nia was frantically eager to go. I opened my phone and showed her pictures. Look, foreign women all wear nose rings, belly button rings, all sorts of rings. If you go, you'll have to pierce all these first, or else no one will even look at you. She nodded like a pecking chicken. Sister-in-law, you're right, I'll go right now. Wherever I can get pierced, I'll get pierced. When she returned, all visible spots, 2 holes in her nose, 2 in her lips, 1 in her tongue, and probably a few more in other places, were pierced. I looked at her, she looked like a sieve, and I really wanted to laugh. She really was crazy. She proudly looked in the mirror, her face beaming, but the next second she frowned. Sister-in-law, that person said I need 1 million yuan to go. Right now, I only have 10,000 in total. Where am I going to get so much money? Before I could speak, she answered herself. Sister-in-law, how about you lend me your money first? Don't worry, I'll become rich as soon as I get there. Then paying you back 2 million won't be a problem. You idiot, I tried to look troubled. Nia, it's not that your sister-in-law won't lend it to you, but I only have 500,000 in total, and I've invested it all in funds. I can't withdraw it now. She looked at me suspiciously. I think you just don't want to lend it to me. You just don't want me to go out. You don't want me to live a high-class life. I quickly explained. It's true, why would I lie to you? Think about it, if you become rich over there, we'll certainly benefit too. How about we ask Mom to lend us some? I know Mom has a lot of money. That's right, the old woman got 2 million yuan in compensation from the demolition 2 years ago. Now she's holding onto it tightly, afraid that if she gives it to us, no one will take care of her. But that money was clearly divided by household registration. Our family of 3, my husband, myself, and our son should have received 3 shares. In my previous life, after I locked Nia at home, she cried and complained to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law also believed I had obstructed her daughter's path to happiness. So when Nia told the scammer to kidnap me, my mother-in-law coldly watched me beg her to call the police. She then impatiently waved her hand at the scammer. Take her away quickly, the farther the better. Now, my mother-in-law also thought abroad was a good place, so let her daughter, using her money, send her own daughter off. It's just that when Nia actually came to ask for money, she hesitated. Nia, 1 million yuan is no small amount. Is the person you found trustworthy? Nia patted her chest to reassure her. Of course, he said I'd be a noble Brahmin of the highest class over there, no need to worry at all, just enjoy life forever. My mother-in-law was still a little worried. She had been in business her whole life, not as naive as Nia. Did they sign any contracts or documents as proof? Nia nodded profusely, even pulling out her phone. Of course. Look, Mom, this is where I'll live when I go there. A 3-story villa with a yard, garden, and swimming pool. They've already chosen it for me, absolutely no problem. My mother-in-law nodded, quite satisfied, but immediately shifted her gaze to me. Lily, your sister's immigration is such a big deal. Are you, as her sister-in-law, just going to stand by and watch? Doing nothing? Haha, it makes me laugh. How could I do nothing? I'm actively pushing her along. It's just that what she wants and what I'm doing are clearly not the same. You tell me, shouldn't you help her bear 800,000? You're the sister-in-law in this house. It's what you should do. Get lost. Her going to her death, what does that have to do with me? Moreover, my mother-in-law is holding over 1 million of our asterisk money and refusing to give it back, yet she expects me to pay out of pocket for Nia. What a pipe dream. I, of course, used the same old excuse. I have no money, it's all invested in funds. My mother-in-law was unhappy. You can't be so selfish. This is a big deal for Nia. No matter what, you have to contribute your share. Of course I'll contribute, Mom, since you won't give us the money anyway. Mom, isn't the 1.2 million yuan compensation from our house all with you? I've thought about it. Nia going abroad is very important, and such a good opportunity is hard to come by again. So let's just take our family of three's compensation money and give it to Nia. Consider it my support for her. My mother-in-law's face became very unpleasant. What? Are you trying to get your hands on my compensation money? I'm telling you, as long as I'm not dead, you won't get a single cent. Ha ha, you cheapskate. Nia saw that her mother didn't want to give her money, and tears welled up in her eyes. Mom, this is my moment to reach the peak of my life. Such a good opportunity, you can't not help me. Even though Nia pleaded endlessly, my mother-in-law held onto her money tightly. Scammer came directly to our house. As soon as he arrived, he presented my mother-in-law with a huge, glittering gold bracelet. Auntie, this is a meeting gift from me. My mother-in-law was so excited she almost had a heart attack. She put it on her wrist while pretending to refuse. Oh, so embarrassing, so embarrassing. How can I accept such a precious item from you? The scammer generously offered me one too. It's fine, Auntie. You don't know this, but I'm also a Brahmin abroad. We're very rich. After saying that, he pulled something like a household registration book from his pocket and handed it to my mother-in-law. Auntie, look, this is my Brahmin ID abroad. Over there, no matter what trouble I encounter, as long as I pull out this ID, everything gets resolved. Everyone even has to kneel to me. I just feel that such good welfare shouldn't only be enjoyed by my family. I want to bring our compatriots to go abroad together, all of us becoming high-class people, so that foreigners will ultimately become our slaves. We must conquer abroad. The scammer became more and more agitated as he spoke, as if the next second he would truly conquer foreign lands. My mother-in-law held his so-called Brahmin ID, looking at it repeatedly, a smile gradually appearing at the corner of her lips. Idiot. It's all in English, does she even understand it, putting on such a show? The scammer then secretly lowered his voice. Auntie, going over there isn't simple anymore. Currently, I only have exactly one last spot left. I can only arrange for one person to go. If you miss today, even if you want to go, you won't be able to. Anyway, whether you go or not doesn't affect me. There are tons of people fighting for this spot, and they're even offering me 2 million, 3 million. As soon as he finished speaking, Nia couldn't sit still, urgently pulling her mother-in-law's arm. Mom, quick, give him the money. Such a good opportunity, this only opportunity, must be mine. Absolutely no one else can snatch it away. I quickly chimed in. That's right, Mom. 1 million yuan is nothing compared to Nia's half-lifetime of glory and wealth. Don't hesitate any longer. Quickly give her the money. At this moment, the scammer received a phone call. He put it on speaker. Mr. Liu, I heard you still have one Brahmin spot left. Hurry up and let me go. I'll pay 5 million. Nia gasped, taking a cold breath. The person on the other end of the line continued. My family has money. 5 million is no problem. Compared to the assets and power I'll receive after going there, 5 million is nothing. Mr. Liu, where are you? I'll come find you and give you the money right away. The scammer pretended to look troubled, glancing at Nia. My mother-in-law suddenly became agitated, snatching the scammer's phone and hanging up, trembling as she said, No need to think about it anymore. I'll give you 2 million. You absolutely must take my daughter abroad. Ha, I could die laughing. The scammer truly had talent. My mother-in-law, excited, directly gave the scammer 500,000 yuan as a deposit. When can my daughter leave? The scammer tried to suppress the corners of his mouth from curling up. Wait for my call tomorrow. I knew he also wanted to leave immediately, but he wasn't fully prepared. This was also the first time he had truly scammed someone, truly gotten money. He was still in a state of daze. In my previous life, after taking me abroad, he originally wanted to sell me at a high price, but being new to the business and without sales channels, he ultimately could only sell me to the family of 8 brothers in the slums for 30,000 yuan. Of course, with the 100,000 Nia gave him, he didn't lose money. So that whole night, Nia was too excited to sleep. She posted an update on her social media, the background image being the grand villa the scammer showed her. The villa had a swimming pool and a garden. This queen is about to reach the peak of her life. The next time you see me, you'll have to bow and kneel, accompanied by a smug emoji. Truly stupid, naive, and foolish. She and my mother-in-law were eagerly awaiting becoming high class. and I was also eagerly awaiting her being sold to the family of 8 brothers, to be tortured wildly. Just when I thought everything was set, suddenly a huge piece of news exploded online. A couple traveling in India, the young and beautiful wife was brutally abused by over a dozen Indian men. In the news, the woman was so tragically tortured it was unbearable to look at, and even her husband was attacked, bleeding profusely. I was terrified, afraid Nia would see this news, afraid she would regret it, afraid she would suddenly come to her senses and not go. What fun would that be? I quietly observed Nia, sitting on the sofa, scrolling through her social media, waiting for others to like her post. She didn't seem to have seen the news yet. I breathed a sigh of relief. But a second later, my mother-in-law scrolled past that video on Douyin, Chinese TikTok. She quickly showed the video to Nia. "Nia, look at this." Nia was posting her second update on her social media. This time, it was a selfie edited so much that even my mother-in-law couldn't recognize her. She even zoomed in on her nose ring, lip ring, and belly button ring with the caption, "The remaining spots are reserved for my billionaire nobleman husband to see. You guys aren't qualified to see them," accompanied by a smug emoji. She was so ugly, yet she didn't even know it. "Nia, this news says it's not safe abroad. You, a girl alone going there, your mom is a little uneasy." Nia had also seen the news. She frowned and started reading the comments. Netizens in the comment section, every single thing they said made Nia want to back out. "Abroad, haha, that's a woman's grave, what else is there to say? Look at that couple, absolutely miserable. I wouldn't even dare to travel to that place. Oh, it's inconvenient to speak plainly." Nia's face grew uglier the more she read, and my mother-in-law was also full of worry. "How about we don't go anymore? Mom still feels completely uneasy." Ridiculous. How could she not go? Who would pay me back for the suffering I endured in my previous life? Nia held her phone, pondering for a long time. My mother-in-law spoke again. "I only have you as a daughter. You going out alone, I really can't be at ease." "No, you absolutely must go." I immediately started giving them a dose of reassurance. "Mom, Nia, you two are worrying unnecessarily. Nia will be a Brahmin noble over there. How can she be compared to the low-class people in the news? Nia isn't going there to be bullied by others, she's going to bully others. By then, let alone a Brahmin husband. Even if Nia keeps a dozen low-class male slaves, it will be as easy as flipping her hand. Who could possibly bully her then?" My mother-in-law was still worried, but Nia was already beaming. I continued, "If you two are scared, then let me go." "I'm not scared. Once I become rich over there, I'll bring our whole family over. Trust me, it's absolutely possible." "No," Nia screamed. "Aren't you ashamed? You're already married with a child, yet you're still thinking about going there to marry into wealth? You truly don't respect my brother at all." Actually, I truly didn't respect him at all. In my previous life, he actually knew about Nia selling me to the scammer, but he chose to turn a blind eye. After I was gone, he announced to everyone that I had run off with another man and quickly brought a mistress home, starting a new family, living a perfectly happy life. In this life, I wanted him and Nia to go to hell together, but I couldn't let Nia know that yet. I humbled myself. "Nia, why would you say that? Your brother and I love each other so much. I only want to go abroad to become a Brahmin for the good of our family. Tell me, if I live well, would I just stand by and watch everyone here suffer?" Nia glared at me. "HMPH, don't pretend to be so noble. I'm telling you, you just want to go enjoy the good life yourself. Don't even dream about it. This is my good life. No one, absolutely no one, is going to snatch it from me." I wasn't snatching it from her. I even went online and bought her all sorts of colorful saris to express my sincere blessings. My mother-in-law, hearing I wanted to go, quickly changed her mind. She even slapped me. "Get out, don't even think about stealing my daughter's future. You only deserve to stay home and dutifully serve me your whole life." Haha, I will definitely serve her well, absolutely. But I still regretted that 2 million yuan, 1.2 million of it was mine. So I told my mother-in-law, "Mom, although abroad is very good, we agreed earlier that it's 1 million, not 2 million. Don't overpay." She, of course, also regretted the money, but I already said if I don't give 2 million, he'll give the spot to someone else. I could die laughing. The scammer only managed to scam Nia alone. He would have been overjoyed even with 500,000. In front of my mother-in-law, I personally called the scammer. "Excuse me, we still need to adhere to the contract. Let's stick to the original price of 1 million yuan. The scammer, of course, haggled. I continued, "Didn't you say you're also a Brahmin and don't care about money? If you keep demanding money like this, I'll start to suspect you're not a real Brahmin." He was terrified, afraid I would expose him, and immediately agreed. 1 million then, 1 million. It's not like I make money this way. This time, my mother-in-law smiled, and I also smiled, successfully keeping 1 million of my money. The next day, the scammer came again. This time, he gave my mother-in-law and me each a large gold necklace. My mother-in-law was so delighted she couldn't close her mouth, even snatching mine. "You bitch, how do you deserve to wear something so good? Hurry up and show your filial piety to me." I immediately offered it to her with both hands. "You fool, she doesn't even recognize such a fake item. Wholesale, I wonder if it cost even 30 yuan a piece." Nia only brought a few saris I gave her, her heart full of anticipation, and left with the scammer. My mother-in-law made me see them off at the airport. I was, of course, willing. I had to personally see Nia get on the plane, otherwise my heart wouldn't be at ease. On the way, the scammer looked at me several times. "Sister, you too should go too. Go live a good life abroad, no need to waste your youth here." Before I could say anything, Nia snorted. "She's almost 30, what youth does she have left? How could she deserve to be a noble Brahmin?" I also couldn't help but ask the scammer, "Didn't you say there was only one spot left? I can't go either." Seeing that I was about to bite, he explained, "Others, of course, can't go, but your family. Family can easily live in the same villa." "No, absolutely not," Nia screamed, interrupting the scammer. "Only I can go, she's not qualified. Besides, if I go and she goes too, who will take care of my mother? Don't even dream about it." I could only cast an apologetic look at the scammer. He seemed very disappointed. He had originally wanted to scam both of us. Alas, I stood outside the security checkpoint, watching the scammer and Nia pass through together and board the plane. My floating heart finally settled. "Nia, you just go and live your good life abroad, be your Brahmin noble. As for me, I'll stay home and enjoy this boring, ordinary life." After she left, there was no news of her. My mother-in-law, every day, held her phone, waiting for good news from her. She was even more irritable than before. The rice I cooked was either too bland or too salty, either too hot or too cold. In short, everything was displeasing. I knew why she had become so harsh and arrogant. It was because she had already envisioned Nia as a noble Brahmin abroad. She was waiting for Nia to return and pick her up to live there as an empress dowager, an old Buddha, waking up every morning with dozens of servants. Even my husband, that cheating man Liam, became excited. Previously, he would at least pretend a little in front of me, not letting me know about his mistress's existence. But now it was different. He dared to openly bring his mistress home and embrace her in front of me. I threw a teacup at him. Excellent. It hit him right on the nose, and fresh blood immediately flowed out. He clutched his nose, roaring at me, "Now you're still being unruly, acting like a human? In less than a month, I'll also follow Nia abroad to become a Brahmin noble. By then, let alone one woman, if I find 10, what can you do to me?" HMPH, at least Nia could be sold to men as a wife. What good is a big man like him over there? Lower-class people in India lack wives, not husbands. My mother-in-law also pointed at my nose and cursed. "A woman like you has no femininity at all. You're both fierce and overbearing. What man could stand it? I'm telling you, son, divorce her as soon as possible so that when we go abroad, we don't have to share money with her. What if she throws a fit and insists on following you? So divorce her quickly." I cried tragically. "I won't divorce. How can I divorce? Because if I endure just one more month, everyone in this house will disappear without a trace. This house will be entirely mine. How can I divorce now? I have to endure. It won't be much longer." Just as I predicted, a month passed and Nia had no news whatsoever. My mother-in-law was uneasy and called the scammer. At this moment, the scammer was sitting with me in a coffee shop. "Auntie, rest assured, your daughter is living very well abroad. Now, because she's just arrived, there are many procedures. Moreover, she's about to become a Brahmin. The foreign government won't easily accept it like that. She's currently in a trial period, so she temporarily can't contact you. Otherwise, the government will suspect she's bringing many people over to enjoy Brahmin benefits. But it's okay, if you have any questions, just contact me." After the call, he even sent several photos of Nia in a magnificent villa to my mother-in-law. I slowly stirred my coffee, watching the scammer in front of me babble endlessly to my mother-in-law. He was truly born to be a scammer. He spoke so damn well. After sending the photos, he obediently placed his phone on the table. "Sister, please forgive me, I'm just trying to make a living. Your sister-in-law came to me herself. She insisted I take her abroad. You can't entirely blame me." I, of course, didn't blame him. In fact, I was grateful to him. But that was only in this life. I still hadn't settled the debt from my previous life. Thinking of my previous life, Every day and night I was tortured by those 8 brothers. Thinking of my torn wounds, thinking of the food like pig slop, thinking of having to be careful even when going to the bathroom. Then looking at the scammer in front of me, it was he who sold me to those 8 brothers. I stared at him. As long as you listen to me, I won't report you and you'll be fine. It's up to you whether you listen to me or not. He lowered his voice and asked me, "What else do you want me to do, sister?" "Nothing, just your old profession." When I got home, my mother-in-law was still admiring the beautiful photos of Nia in the grand villa. In the photos, Nia smiled arrogantly, with over a dozen servants at her feet, looking exactly like a queen. My mother-in-law watched, overjoyed. "Ha ha, my daughter was born to be a queen. As for you, just be jealous." Jealous? I'm indeed dying of jealousy. Jealous that she's over there. Does she even have a piece of cloth left to cover herself? Seizing the moment my mother-in-law was excited, I asked her, "Mom, Nia has been gone for so long, she should have settled down by now, right? When will she pick us up? Look how big her house is. Our whole family living there wouldn't be a problem, and she has so many servants too. I also want to live that kind of life." My mother-in-law looked at me with disdain. "You go? What do you have to go on? Only I, my son, and my grandson will go." "You don't have the Wang surname. What qualifications do you have?" Too right. My mother-in-law's understanding is truly clear. I really don't deserve to go. I pretended to beg Liam again. "Husband, you don't think that way too, do you? You wouldn't go with Mom and not take me, would you?" He was scrolling through Douyin, watching beautiful women in saris wildly swaying and belly dancing. "Ha ha, go look in the mirror yourself. Can you compare to these beauties? Do you have any qualities that match them?" "Yes, I am of course not as good, but I can't give up." "Husband, you can't leave me behind. You can't be biased and only take your mistress. I'm also your wife, you can't favor one over the other." Liam snorted. "I'm not taking anyone. Now I don't care about anyone anymore. So many foreign beauties are waiting for me, and they're obedient. Why would I take you people and bring myself trouble?" Ah, it seems the mistress can't go either. Initially, I even planned to send the mistress too, but on second thought, her crime isn't worthy of death. The most deserving of death is this rotten man. Oh well, spare her a life, as long as she lives a life worse than death over there. 3 days later, the scammer called again. "Auntie, things with your daughter are halfway settled, but now she is the most noble Brahmin. Ordinary people can't approach her, so she asked me to come pick you up. Moreover, it will be much simpler for you to go over there than for her. She has arranged everything perfectly. You just have to go there and enjoy." My mother-in-law and Liam were so excited they almost fainted. They didn't think about anything else, quickly starting to pack. My mother-in-law even intended to sell the house here before leaving, saying she couldn't let me benefit. But the scammer said, "Auntie, selling a house isn't something that happens overnight. Delaying could make you miss the opportunity. It's best if you depart within the next 2 days, otherwise I'm afraid something might happen." My mother-in-law looked at the house with lingering affection. This was a new house, compensated after demolition, only lived in for 2 years. But Liam waved his hand. "Mom, be decisive. Look at Nia's big villa over there. What is this pigeon coop worth?" "That's right," I immediately advised. "Mom, you two go first. I'll help you sell this house and then I'll transfer the money to you." She was still a little uneasy. "Are you that kind-hearted?" "Of course, I'm very kind, Mom." "Isn't Tom, your grandson, still here with me? You're still hoping he'll grow up, and you two will bring him over there to inherit a billionaire's fortune." "How dare I disobey you, Mom?" Only then did she nod, satisfied. "That's right, if Tom wasn't too young to go now, how would you have the chance to continue living in my big house? Ha ha, how could I let my sons suffer with them?" Of course not. These words were all things I told the scammer to say. Finally, with anticipation, they boarded the flight to become billionaires. Before boarding, Liam even posted an update on his social media, the content being him in a grand villa with a bunch of servants at his feet, accompanied by the caption, "I've had enough of this dog's life. I'm off to be a foreign billionaire." A few minutes later, I saw one of his cousins comment below, "No way, you're kidding, right? I've seen this picture online dozens of times. It's just that the woman is different each time." I was scared stiff. Thankfully, the plane had already taken off. Liam didn't see it. If it had been 2 minutes earlier, I would have feared a sudden turn of events. "This cousin, if it's not your business, say a few less words." Not long after, more and more comments appeared under his post. "No way, brother, are you really going? You can't go, it's all a scam. You're just kidding, right? You surely wouldn't fall for such a low-level scam. It's been an hour and you still haven't replied to messages." Could it be, could it be? "That's right, brother, quickly text us back, we're worried sick." Relatives called me, truly good people, but unfortunately it was too late. Lily, I saw Liam's social media post. He's just kidding, right? I feigned surprise. Why would he be kidding? He really went. Nia has been gone for over a month and is doing very well. Nothing's happened. In a while, after I finish arranging things here, I'll also go. The other party was anxious. Don't, Lily, that's a scam, a blatant scam. If you go, you'll regret it for 8 lifetimes. I don't believe it, not a bit. I absolutely must go abroad. I must follow in the footsteps of my mother-in-law and husband. I want to be a Brahmin noble. I want to live a good life. Friends and relatives, one after another, tried to persuade me. Why is this woman so stubborn and won't listen? Liam is gone, Nia and her mother are gone. Do you still want to go seek death? Death. Yes, in my previous life I died terribly, but now I had to pretend not to know anything. I looked at them full of doubt. Really? Is it really that serious? Is it really a scam? They were so angry they almost suffocated. It's true, don't you watch the news? What kind of place is abroad? And what makes you think being a Brahmin noble is easy? If it were that easy, the whole world would have flocked there. That's right, if it was really that easy to go, abroad would have been taken over by the rich a long time ago. Finally, I burst into sobs. Then what should I do now? They've all gone. Are they all going to die? My relatives sympathized and helped me call the police. Very quickly, the scammer was arrested. In prison, he confessed everything, saying he had sold Nia to the 8 brothers. My mother-in-law was too old and useless, so she was thrown into the river. As for Liam, because he was strong, he was directly sold to a Brahmin as a slave. God knows how happy I was the moment I heard that news. Retribution. This is all the retribution they deserve. But in front of the police, the scammer also implicated me. It was all her. She told me to scam her husband and mother-in-law. She did it intentionally. The police, of course, called me in for questioning. I choked back tears, unable to speak clearly. Comrades, he is a scammer. Not a single word from his mouth is true. How can you believe him? He says I told him to scam my husband and mother-in-law. In reality, at that time, I wanted him to process our whole family to go. I had great faith in his abilities. I also wanted to go and wanted to bring my son with me. But he said my son was too young and couldn't go temporarily. There was no other way. For my son, I had to stay behind and let my husband and mother-in-law go enjoy the blessings first. If it weren't for that, I would also have been sold by him along with my husband and mother-in-law by now. I spoke very sincerely, with logic and reason. Moreover, in this life, I had no reason to harm my husband and mother-in-law. Although in my previous life they had terribly harmed me, no one knew that. The scammer couldn't provide any evidence, so the police, of course, didn't believe him. They even expressed sympathy, saying they would cooperate with international police to help me find my husband and sister-in-law. I gratefully presented them with a commendation flag. Of course, I also knew that they couldn't return anytime soon. Liam and Nia, the scammer hated me so much he wanted to tear me apart. He screamed that I had scammed him, but who would believe him? He was already a scammer to begin with. In my previous life, if he and Nia hadn't colluded, how could I have died such a humiliating and tragic death? This was the punishment he deserved. Let him repent in prison. Over 2 months later, when I had almost forgotten about those people, the police announced they had found my mother-in-law's body. She had been eaten by fish, leaving only a skeleton, but DNA testing confirmed it was her. As for Nia and Liam, they still hadn't been found, and I was told to wait patiently. I was, of course, at ease because where Nia went, the police couldn't enter. They couldn't even find the place. It was too poor. As for Liam, a slave controlled by Brahmins, the police couldn't even take him away if they wanted to, a more tragic fate. In short, they would never return. 2 years later, the police finally informed me that Nia had been found. But just like my mother-in-law, only an incomplete corpse remained, looking as if she had endured inhumane torture, her body shattered. As for Liam, I also saw him. In a promotional video for Brahmins by a new scam group, there was a slave being relentlessly whipped by his master. That person was none other than an emaciated Liam. I stared at his thin, dark body for a long, long time, then burst into laughter, a completely relieved and satisfied laugh. They had all received their deserved retribution. Those who deserved to die had died, and those who deserved to be tortured were being tortured. As for my life with my son, with the big house, with the 1 million yuan in compensation, it would now turn a new page. No one could stop me from living a good life, no one at all.